Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it. My daughters actually read the Moon Girl Devil Dinosaurs comic, so we're very excited for this. I'm very, very excited. And I've seen a couple of episodes, and I've just got to say they're just gorgeous, incredible, hilarious, emotional. Like, I went on a journey. I absolutely love the series so far. But I'd love to know what kind of drew you to want to be a part of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And Rodney, you can go first if you want.
Well, it was Steve. I'm pointing. I don't know where he is, but Steve. Steve was started out working on it and developing it, and he developed it with Lawrence. And Lawrence Fishburne was the one who brought the project to the attention of Disney because he's a big comic book guy. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise. Nobody knows that. But yeah, it really drew me because I haven't worked on anything like this before, and seeing having a Black girl, female protagonist who's into STEM and the opportunity to show a role model such as Lunella Lafayette was a great opportunity for me. And I saw that and I said, I think this needs to happen. And I also saw Steve's vision for it. So he really sold me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Marvel has been a part of my life from the very beginning. My dad bought Amazing Spider-Man #4 when it came out. So as you can tell, we've been a Marvel family all the way back then. And with Lawrence Fishburne and Helen Sugden from Cinema Gypsy, from Blackish, Grownish, Mixedish, kind of the producing company with Disney TV animation and Marvel together, it was an opportunity that you could not pass up. And also we shared a common vision really early on that the show had to look different and feel different. Music had to be a really important part of the feel and tone of the show. So yeah, I think that there was a lot of people just got together and we all had kind of the same vision pretty early.
So speaking of that unique look, because that's something I immediately picked up on just watching it, even from the images that were released, the first look images, but then really watching the animation, it feels like I've never seen something so bright and vibrant and unique and different. So can you kind of just talk about like the first time you saw it all come together?
Sure. Well, Rodney and I both grew up in New York City. We went to the same art high school, a few years apart though. Mm-hmm. But we were there kind of at the height of the graffiti art movement, kind of before gentrification. So we were inspired by a number of different elements, by Andy Warhol's screen printing process, the Basquiat art, the street art murals, and the graffiti that I had mentioned. So you kind of fuse all that together into something, and you create something that graphically feels like it's its own thing. And also we were super inspired by Spider-Verse, which is an absolutely brilliant film. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of did our own thing, but Spider-Verse kind of opened the door for, superhero storytelling that looked as unique as that does.
And it really just opened up for the studios to see, you know what, let's take a chance. Let's take a chance on doing something visually different when it's presented to them. And we really wanted to lean into the comic book aspect of the show. Look, so you see the graphicness of the characters and the black inky lines, and then the screen printing and the offset of the backgrounds and the textures, and we wanted to really represent New York in a nice, more accurate kind of gritty way, because New York is not smooth and clean, and it's gritty, it's got texture and its own character, but also not competing with the graphicness of the characters.
Now, so does this fit? Where does this fit in the MCU, I guess I should say? Because like there is mention of like the Avengers at one point, and of course the Beyonder, which was, oh my gosh, so incredible. But like, does this kind of connect to the other stuff, or is it sort of its own thing?
I'd like to think we're complementary to the MCU. We're all massive fans of all of the Marvel films and TV shows. And so you'll see a couple of characters from the MCU appearing in the show here and there, but also you'll see a lot of deep cut kind of Marvel comic villains, antagonists, and protagonists kind of showing up here and there. So you're gonna have to do some digging into the old comic books to kind of find the original source material for some of this.
Yeah, some you'll know, some you'll never even heard of. So you might have to go into that Marvel encyclopedia and kind of look for those characters.
Awesome. Well, I've got Marvel Unlimited, so I'm good. I'm ready to dive in and check it out. Just thank you guys so much for talking with me today. And honestly, this is something I'm just going to absolutely love watching with my kids who are Marvel fans. So thank you for giving us something that, you know, we can enjoy as a family. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you guys so much. Yes. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Tessa.
Oh my gosh, first of all, your little stuffies are so cute. I want one. Oh my goodness. Listen, I love it. We are such big fans of this comic book in my house, so we were very excited that there's going to be an animated show. And then in watching the screeners, like it's amazing. It looks so beautiful. It feels like nothing we've really seen before, which I love. And we're big Marvel fans, clearly. So I'd love to know for you guys, and Diamond, if you want to go first, what it's like to be part of a Marvel project.
It's wild. I am honored and I'm so thankful to be the vessel like showing the representation of this character. I'm just so happy and I can't wait until February 10th.
Yeah, it's incredible. You're right. It is a very different looking and sounding show, and to just be part of it, not only from the cultural aspect of it, with this black teenage nerd that is like the smartest person in the universe, in Marvel universe, but then to be able to be her family member as a big T-Rex that she brings in and takes the time to learn his language, and so that's a true honor, and it really is going to be a very very different looking show because the art and the music, the writing, the acting, all kind of support each other as one big experience rather than, it's not as linear, so
Yeah.
Science is great. It's explained visually. Emotions are shown on the screen, with art, and it's just a very different experience.
Yeah. What was it like for you, Fred, to like make a dinosaur? How did you find his voice? How did you find Devil's voice?
Well, it was just experimenting around because we wanted to go traditional. We start with traditional, like the scary stuff. And then we realized we got to make him like your friend. And he's a 10-ton lovable dog, but he's not her pet, but he's smart enough. They're family members, but they are. So we had to soften him up, and then of course that goes into the Scooby. You gotta be careful. You don't want to go too far. So we had a lot of and we still do have to kind of like narrow in on that. Sam Riegel and the whole team and I, as we record, try to like narrow in on that sound. And basically, I know the line that he wants to say, and we just reduce it down to like, we've got to save the people, off the cliff, Lunella. And that might be too literal, so we go, and then just reduce it down, enough. And so I am thinking the line as I'm doing the sound. It's a weird job.
It's so phenomenal to just watch you do that. It's incredible. Diamond, one of my favorite things about this show, which I adored the 3 screeners that we got, but I love the kind of female friendship at the core of it, because I feel like we don't see a lot of that, especially for younger kids shows. Like I have 2 daughters and I want them to see positive, strong female friendships between Lunetta and Casey, of course. Can you kind of talk about the importance of that?
Well, I think a lot of the bond that came within those 2 characters is that me and Libe get to record sometimes through Zoom or in person.
Like together?
Yeah, together. So a lot of the lines are kind of like ad-libs and things that, weren't really written down. And that's what I love about the team of the show, is that they allow us to just be our authentic selves. So when me and Libe are in the booth, you don't know what's going to come out of our mouths, but it makes the relationship so much stronger. And I feel like that's what makes them like really gel together.
Yeah, I love it. That's crazy, because a lot of times you guys voice actors don't usually record together as now after COVID, right? So that's incredible.
It happened through Zoom. Before COVID, we'd have in-person sessions, but then we started doing them over Zoom.
I love it. I love it. Now this was such a great series. Like I said, we saw 3 episodes. The hair day one is probably my favorite. I loved that episode. But do you guys have like a favorite one you've recorded so far? I know it's kind of hard to pick.
The Hair Day episode is actually my favorite as well.
Yeah, the hair is just, it's so funny, and I do love the hamster episode too. I love them all, but there's one where, for Devil, where he has to realize he has to find this hamster and become, there's interesting points where Devil gets jealous at times, and it's been of Casey, and it's been of the hamster, and it's been of other, and realizes that no, he can share Lunella with other people, and like that's a team. Like someone like Casey really is the triumvirate. It really is the three of them. You know what I mean? And as well as the family. And the hamster one just makes me laugh, just because he has to deal with a whole other world of animals.
Oh, I'm so excited to see that one. We didn't get that one.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things about Devil too is I love that he loves hot dogs. Like, who would think a dinosaur like hot dogs their favorite food?
I gotta get my nitrates. Yeah, no, he loves he loves hot dogs, pizza, popcorn, but he's picky. I'm not picky, but he's an Epicurean. He loves good flavors, and he's driven by his appetite, even though he is more driven by Lunella. But I would say, yeah, appetite is a big part for. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to move around there. He's a 10-ton dog.
Yeah,
basically.
I love it. And so in an earlier interview, they kind of hinted that there are some cameos from other Marvel characters that show up. So not giving spoilers, who would you love to see come and be a part of the show? Maybe they are part of the show, maybe they aren't a part of the show, but which Marvel character? And that's Diamond, if you want to go first.
Well, personally, because I am a big Spider-Man fan, I would love to see Spider-Man. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but I would love to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man would be fun just because they're both scientists.
Yeah.
I think Peter and her would get along. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could see how that could be
Peter
really
and
something.
Get along very well.
They're young and they're smart, and then there's a few others that there's some random ones. Squirrel Girl would be funny. I'd love to see like Nick Fury. I'd love to see I'd love to see somebody that doesn't seem like they should be involved with this particular group. I'd like, what? And it's like some high-end government thing would be hilarious. Just,
Isn't there something that with Hulk and Devil?
Oh, Hulk. Yeah, Hulk would be great because he and Devil have a past. Now, I don't know about in this particular show, but I've played Hulk for many years, and Hulk and Devil do have a connection. Steve Bloom played my Devil Dinosaur, and so brilliantly. And it was, Hulk used to fight dinosaurs and now gets along with them. So that would be very funny to see him and them dealing with hot dogs together.
Yes.
I would love to see that too, yeah. And again, Banner being a scientist.
Right,
So
exactly. It all comes back to the STEM.
I could
love
actually see Lunella getting along with Banner and Hulk even.
it. Yeah.
And that would be a real contrast, sure.
Oh, well, fingers crossed, because I'm hoping
Yeah.
for many seasons of this. Like I said, we absolutely loved the 3 episodes that we got. And thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you.
Good. Hi, Tessa. Oh, now, are you? I know. It's Mama's Geeky. Are
Yeah.
you the geeky mama?
I
of Mama's
am.
Geeky?
That's
yeah.
me.
Hey, geek.
And my kids are too. We're such like Marvel fans. So that is why I absolutely loved it. I shared the screener with my kids. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Too late.
But we seriously immediately fell in love with this show. It is so much fun. And I love that it's something that families can watch together. And there's those Marvel ties in there. So can we just start off? I'd love to know, when they said, hey, do you want to voice a character in a Marvel show? Gary, you can go first. But what was your reaction?
Oh, legally, Libe is supposed to go first because she will sue me if I talk before she does. But you know what? I'm going to do it. Mama's
It's in my
Geeky.
contract.
It's in the contract. First of all, to be associated with any Marvel project, yes. Then when it came to subject matter of 13-year-old super genius, the first female African-American superhero, one of the smartest people in that whole Marvel universe, absolutely make me a part of this. I did not know how great it was until we start seeing some of the animation and seeing how popping and unique it is. Then I was like, we are literally in the middle of something so special. So special. So my reaction every time I see more, my reaction just gets bigger and bigger and bigger of this is something that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Totally.
Please don't sue me, Libe, for talking.
I'm just writing it down. We're tallying each time. Just kidding. It's not my contract. um, no, I feel similarly. And I think that it's like, I knew it was something special to begin with. And as we've seen, you know, and also like even the way that I've never recorded a cartoon like this before, that like from the beginning, they were like, we want you and Diamond in, you know, recording at the same time. And so you guys can riff off each other. And we want to find a very real friendship there. And we did, and it's been so fun. And like, you know, and so then having that experience, that's been like some of the most fun, you know, recording experiences I've had. And then seeing the animation and the music, it's really special. And also as a Marvel nerd, you might appreciate this. So initially, so my sister is Arielle Barrere, who is on Marvel's Runaways, who she was the first. So her superpower on that was she had a pet dinosaur, was her superpower. And then when I got this audition, I was like, oh, this is so fun. This is so funny. And then I get this and I'm like, what a weird sister thing that we are both on different Marvel shows that have to do with the only two that have like talking or not talking, neither of them talk.
Dinosaur, yeah.
Dinosaur, yeah.
They're expressive dinosaurs.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What a funny tie. I love that. So real quick, I'd love for you to just kind of describe your character and then how you're like your character, or if you are at all.
I play Pops. I'm Lunella's grandfather. He is a demon on roller skates. He's amazing on skates. He was the champion back in his day and still could be. He runs the roller rink and he keeps it alive just for the community. Like they're not making that much money off of it, but it's a community thing where everybody comes together. Everybody's included there. Back in the day, Black people and white people and Latino people, they couldn't all be skating together. So he created that place so that the whole community could be together. The thing that aren't alike is I'm very young. I'm super young. I'm like 12 or 13. The doctors don't know how young I am. But I do love to tinker with things like Pops does. He's a big time tinkerer. And people tend to call me the mayor wherever I go because I love bringing people together. So those are the similarities. And we're both incredibly handsome.
Of course.
Yeah. So I play Casey Maria Eva Duarte Goldberg Calderon, Lunella's best friend, and I become Moon Girl's sort of manager and publicist. And Casey is sort of the first person to see Lunella as a superhero, and she's like, you can do this, and she helps her form her superhero persona and does whatever it takes to make her sort of like the superhero of our time for our community. And and I think that what I definitely don't have in common with Casey is like I am the opposite of savvy with like I am not a social person. I like don't really I like minimally use Instagram and that's kind of it. But I do think I'm a very loyal friend in the way that Casey is. My friends always come first. And I think I have that same sort of tenacity that Casey has, that like when I want to make something happen, I make it happen. And yeah,
I love it. And that's one of my favorite things about this series is the friendship, the female friendship, because that's not portrayed enough in shows for younger kids, I think. And thank you guys. That is my time, but I really, really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with me today.
Thank you, Tessa. Keep it geeky.
I will. Thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.